again, everybody. This is Pastor Kennedy. I talked about in order to have victory through God, we must have to learn how not to be a slave. And it takes a process by which to learn how to be victorious. And that process is step number 2, and that is we have to remove the destructive spirit. You know, slaves are oppressed and they're literally a slave. And they don't know how to have victory. They are held under the thumb, so to speak, of the oppressor. And victorious people refuse to stay under oppression. They do what needs to be done, or they'll die trying. And I'm going to encourage you here in this second video on removing the destructive spirit. There are passages that I'll refer to in Numbers. And there are several things that Moses and the children of Israel had to address before they could ever have victory. For instance, in Numbers chapter 12, Aaron and Miriam were leaders that helped Moses. They were also siblings of Moses. But often, family sees your flaws before anyone does. They know you, they've been around you more. And they were critical. And while some people get away with stuff as family, God does not tolerate that in regards to his leader. And if you know of any spiritual leaders, and you know them, you know that they have flaws. But hold on, the big thing's not them, it's the God of them. And you have to be careful how you address issues. You can address problems with leaders. You just can't do it publicly and critically and in a mean spirit. God protects his people, and especially his leaders. So that was in Numbers 12. Numbers 13, there's when the 12 men went to spy in Canaan, 10 were bad and 2 were good. Think about this. The 10 spies changed the perception, changed the faith of the congregation of Israel to fear. And they chose to rather take the 10 spies' recommendation and word over Moses and Joshua and Caleb. That's a bad spirit. It was a destructive spirit. And because of that, the older generation who were trying to protect their young ones, now keep that in mind, they were protecting their young ones from God because they accused God of making their children a prey to their enemies. That's part of what happens in a bad spirit, is you start accusing God of things that are horrible. And so God had to deal with the 10 spies. And then Numbers 14, the people rebel from the bad report from the 10 spies. So the 10 spies gave a bad report, God kills them. Now the people are rebelling, they have to wander in the wilderness for 40 years now. Numbers 16, Korah, other children of renown in Israel, some of the princes of Israel, so to speak. And they rose up against Moses. They thought Moses was being too proud and it was all about Moses. And I'm going to tell you right here, God killed them instantly as well. Later on in that chapter, number 16, the congregation got mad at Moses because they blamed Moses for Korah dying. I'm going to be honest with you, it was Korah's fault. Numbers 21, there's a brazen serpent where the people were murmuring, and God sent fiery serpents to bite and to kill them. See, a bad spirit is like a plague. It starts small, and then it spreads, and before you know it, everyone's infected by it. Churches do not grow in a bad spirit. Families cannot prosper and have a great fellowship in a bad spirit. Workplaces struggle and get distracted away from the main job and the main duty when there's a bad spirit. And I'm going to encourage you here, as you go about your day, as you go about your life, if you want to have victory, you may have to remove a bad spirit. That might be a person, it might be your spirit. Your spirit might have to change. Maybe this doesn't apply to you, but I will say this right here. One of the worst things that could ever happen in any organization is the prevalence of a bad spirit. God bless you, my friend. I hope you have a great day.